Hello guys, this is part 57 of ASP.NET video series. In this session we will discuss about opening a new window using JavaScript method window.open. Open method. Before continuing with this session, I strongly recommend to watch part 54, 55 and 56 of this video series. In ASP.NET, there are different page navigation techniques. As you can see on the slide, I have not specified that on slide, but I will tell you there are hyperlink control we have discussed in part 13 and part 51 of the ASP.NET video series. I have not written it on the presentation slide, so I am orally telling you this. Hyperlink control discussed in part 13 and 51. We will see that in that part. Response.direct redirect discussed in part 52, server.transfer discussed in part 53, server.execute discussed in part 54, cross page post back discussed in part 55 and part 56. So these are the different page navigation techniques. As you can see, as I have told you orally, we have been discussing about the techniques from 1 to 5, which I have rightly spoken about in the previous session of this video series. In this session, we will see how to use window.open method. How we will use window.open method. Let's look at a simple example first. Let's flip to Visual Studio. Okay. We are going to open up our Visual Studio. Here it is, the Visual Studio 2022. Right mouse button, click, run as administrator, click. So we are going to create a new project. ASP.NET window. Applications, click this ASP.NET web applications. Next, and name your project as edu demo. And choose the location. My location would be this one. Select it. Now click create. So we are going to create a web form. Okay. Okay, good. So as you can open it. So first of all, you should remove unwanted things from here. Delete. Use switcher, we don't need it. I don't need it. And we don't need this. And remove this also. remove this also. Is delete that, delete that, delete that, and delete that, and delete that. Keep the scripts, delete the font, delete content. We don't require this folder. Delete the start app.start. We don't need it. So these we will keep them, all these things. Okay. Now what we need to do? We need to add web form 1. Where is the web form 1? Here it is. And we need also web form 2. Where is the web form 2? Where is the web form 2? Okay. Okay. So first of all we need to do what? Copy this stuff of code and paste it here. Okay. So to make you understand more precisely, I will remove this tag from here. Okay. Now go to the design for. Oh, okay. So I have an ASP.NET web application project here with the two web forms. On web form 1, I have got two text boxes, two text box control where the user can enter their name and email. Now let's drag and drop a button control onto this web form. So let's first we will do what? Okay, keep the cursor here and right mouse button click it here, insert row below. So if you go to the source, now every row in this table has got two TDs. So the TR new row also has got two TDs, but we just need one TD within this newly generated row. So what we will do? Remove this much of portion. Okay. So I have deleted that TD and I am going to set the column span attribute of this TD to 2. Okay. So as you can see, we have this 2D. So what I need to colon spend is equal to 2. So quickly go and paste it here. Okay. So that is the 3D with the width spans across the width of two TDs. Okay, now let's drag and drop a button onto this web form. Now in Visual Studio, we have two button controls, the standard ASP.NET server-side button control and the HTML button control. Now which one of those to be used? Now look at this, we are going to open web form 2 in a new window using the JavaScript method window dot open method. Okay, first of all we need to drag and drop HTML button control. Where is the HTML button control? HTML button control is here somewhere here. Here. This one is the HTML control button. So, okay. If you can see in the here, okay. I will tell you this coding here. So we are going to open a web form 2 in a new window using the JavaScript method window dot open method. Now we know that JavaScript runs on the client browser. Okay, so we don't really need the ASP.NET server side button control for that. It is enough if we use the HTML button. So let me drag and drop. I have already drag and dropped the HTML button and situated under the HTML tab from the tool bar box. You can find, we have already found it. So we have also dragged and dropped it. So the value here, so I'm going to say this as an HTML button and this is going to use so value. Okay, means that we need to copy this piece of line from here and paste it here. Okay, okay. Let's also set the style width property. So width colon, I'm going to set that to 300 pixel. Means that if you again go to and copy this style, paste it here. Okay. And type button is already there. So width colon 300 pixel, we have set it. Okay, so if flip the design mode, go to the design mode, flip to the design mode, here we have this button. Okay, you can see the text there, the value that appear on the button. Now obviously when I click this button, what should happen? We should open web form 2 in a new window. And how do we do that? Using window.open method. So the simplest way to do that is this HTML button has got an on click event. So what we need to do, go back to your source. Here is the on click. Now copy this and go back to your coding and here type it here. Okay. One thing you also need to do here is that go to the waveform 2. My god, something has made me. Okay, what I did a mistake here. I have pasted wrongly this coding in waveform 2. So I am going to correct it again by copy it from the waveform 2 and remove it from here. Okay, and go back to form 1 and here I am going to paste it here. Okay, now see the design. Yeah. Now in waveform 2 what you need to do is that you have to paste copy coding from here. Okay, here is the coding of waveform 2. Yeah, it is here. So from this waveform 2 coding of from the notepad, copy this piece of code. Okay, and paste it into the Visual Studio coding of waveform 2 right here. Okay, if you see the design part of this, it is look like this. I will tell you something is to be changed here. Means that if you look at the ID, yeah, it is perfectly right. So go back to the waveform 1. So what we are going to do now, because we want to open a new window, so I can use this window object open method for that. On click this one, this I'm talking about this. Okay, okay. On click window dot open waveform 2.axpx. You may copy the naming from here also. Full name should be copied and pasted here. Now what? So let's run this project now. Now what we need to do, save it and run it. Control. Now let's check what. Okay, okay. Uncomment this, comment this, and comment this. Now again go back to your waveform 1, save it and run it. You make sure that you are running this project in Internet Explorer. Okay, I will tell you why. If you directly click this button, SQL button, what is happening here? Okay, means that if you close this again and click this alone button, then the waveform 2 is here. The problem is that we did not hidden this. You may go back to your okay. What you need to do that, go to the waveform 2 quickly, go to the design mode. You don't want to show it, so where is the visible, make it false for few reason. I will tell you how, why we are doing this. Later we will make it true. Okay. So if you go back to your waveform 1 and again save the changes and run it again, we are running it in Internet Explorer. Okay, I will tell you why. Okay, again click this button. So this is the waveform 2. Okay, let me check my connection to the internet is doing well. Yeah. Okay, close all these steps. Looking Microsoft, cancel it. Okay, we have achieved what we wanted to achieve. Okay, now, so when I click that HTML button, the JavaScript is going to run on the client browser. Okay, client browser, and open waveform 2 in a new window. Okay, so I have two tabs here. We have showed it. If I again show you, again I'll show you this. If I click this, so this is the second tab and this is the first tab. Okay, in the first tab we have this stuff of code design, and in the second tab this stuff of design. So webform 2 is now opened in its own tab. Okay, in its own tab. So basically we can use window.open to open a web form in a new window. Now if you look at this syntax of this function, means if you go to the where is the syntax? What happened to it? Okay, remove this, we don't need that. Okay, so if you look at this window.open URL, name, features and replace, four parameters are there. It has got four parameters, window.open method. And all these parameters are optional, including the URL. Now, if you look at the example that we have done so far, here the open method, here the open method is taking in the name of the web form that we want to open. Means here, if you look at this, here the window.open method is taking the web form to name here that we want to open, and we said this is optional. So if we delete, so if we let me tell you, so if we delete that and if I run it, means if I delete that on click from here, okay, means not whole on click. If I remove this web form only, name this, because it is optional as we have said it. Okay, and then I run this project, this application. Means if I run, first of all we need to save it and press F5. Now if I click it again, so look at it is it's showing the blank tab. Okay, about colon blank. Okay, so which form is going to be opened in the new window? This is the about colon blank. So that means, so that is what will happen if you don't specify the web form that you want to open. Okay, if you don't specify the name of the web form here, then it will not open. It will open a blank about colon blank uh, tab. Okay, in the new window. So now let's look at the parameters, other parameters, and their purposes. Okay, means we will see these other parameter also one by one. Okay, and to do that, you can basically see that URL. This is an optional. This URL is an optional in a table. Means URL is optionals in this table present in the presentation slide. There are 4 parameter already shown you. The URL is first, then name parameter, then features, then replace parameter. Okay, so URL is optional. With the description, the URL of the page to open. If URL is not specified, a new window with about blank is opened. Okay, and we have just seen that. And then the name parameter. This parameter is also optional, and this parameter can be used for two purpose. You can use that for specifying the name of the new window, or you can use that parameter to specify the target attribute as well. So now let's actually look at is practical example. Now what we want to do is, if you look at this web form 1, you have two text box controls, where the means if you go to the web form 1 here in the design part, you have two text box controls where the user can enter their name and email, and once they click this button, we want to open web form 2. And if you look at the web form 2, this web form 2, this web form 2 has got two label controls. Okay, so whatever name on this web form, we want to display whatever name and email that we have entered on this web form, we want to display those on these labels control. Okay, we want to display on these label controls, and we want to do that using JavaScript. And the easiest way to do that is to write a custom JavaScript function. Okay, so let me go to web form 1 and go to the source code, and here we will write the JavaScript coding. So in the head section, we can we can write our custom JavaScript function. So let's use the script tab. Means if you go to the web browser or notepad and go to the so if we copy the here is the script. Okay, I'm taking it one by one. Okay, copy this, and if you can see, I copy this from here and paste it here. Okay, below the title. What is that? Okay, okay, I removed it. Okay, now paste it. I'm slowly telling you this whole coding. Okay, so let's use the script tag. This is the script tag, and script type text is equal to type is equal to okay, type is equal to text forward slash JavaScript, and then there we want to write our function. Okay, now we have to write our own function. Let's call this function as open new window. Okay, so go back to your notepad and function is here. No need to typing. Copy this function and go back to your coding. Where is it? It is here. And okay, okay, I understand that. So now what? So we call this function as open new window, and then the first thing that we want to do is we want to retrieve the name and the email into these text boxes. Means into these text boxes. Okay, okay. You remember that what is the text boxes are? And we know that name will be in text name text box and the email will be in text email means txt email text box. So how do I get those? You know a reference to that text box using the document object. Okay, so the JavaScript document object has got a function called get element by id. So here is the where we'll type it here this portion only. Okay, go back to your coding, type it. Don't worry about that. Okay, so document object has got a function called get element by id, and the id of the text box is text box name, a txt name. This is the id txt name, and then once you have the text box control, you have the value property. So this is the value property which return the value within the text box. And let me create a variable called. So we will create a variable var and call its name is name. Okay, is equal to this much to this. Okay, is equal to that. And we do the same thing to retrieve the email. So variable email is equal to, and email is present in txt email, means var email is equal to document. No need to typing, go to your notepad. We have already done this here. So why do we waste time in typing? So again, copy this much of portion and go back to your coding and type it here. Okay. Okay. Click OK. So the email is present in txt email, right? Text box. Okay. So now we can use the window.open method. So window.open method means, again, go to your, this line you should copy. I will tell you what you need to do. Complete. Okay. So go back to your coding and here you need to do that. This is JavaScript. Okay. So window.open method. Now look this, the intelligence. Visual Studio shows the different parameter. This, okay. Before typing this whole line, I'll show, if you keep the cursor here, means here, I'm trying, yeah. You can read the 4 parameters are there. This is the URL, target, features, replace. These are the 4 parameter. Okay. So this installation showing this URL, first parameter, then target, which is also known as name parameter, then feature parameters, then replace parameter. Okay. We have seen the purpose of the URL parameter and the name means target parameter. You can use this parameter to specify the name of the window. Okay, name parameter. Okay. You can also use this parameter, means name parameter, to specify the value for the target attribute. So I want to open web form to AXPX. This is the web form to AXPX. So web form to.axps, and to this web form, I want to pass the value for name and email. Okay. Name and email, I want to pass that values to this web form. Whatever the user enter into the text box, and the best way to do that is by using query string. This is the query string. Okay. This one. Yet in the video series, we will be talking about them in a later video session. But remember that using query string, you can pass values from one web form to another web form. Now in our case, we want to pass the name and email values from web form 1 to web form 2. So I am going to use query string question mark. This question mark is the query strings. Question mark indicates the beginning of the query string. Okay. So I'm going to use the query string question mark. This question mark indicates the beginning of a query string, and I am going to call this maybe a name of user. Name of user, or you can just say name, whatever you want. So name of user is equal to, so where is the name coming from? The name is coming from the name variable, means this is the name and this is the variable. So we will write this name here. And similarly, I can pass in the email. Okay. So question mark indicate the beginning of the query string, and ampersand. This symbol ampersand indicates I am going to add another query string. This indicates the addition of another query string. So you can add as many as query string. So you want as you want you using the ampersand symbol. So I'm going to say email. So I type the email is equal to, and where is the email coming from? The email is coming from this variable. Email is coming from this variable. So copy this and paste it here. So I'm going to use that variable there. So that is my first parameter. Means this is the first parameter. This one. Okay. Waveform2.axpx. So that is the name of the user, and that is the email. Okay. So the next parameter is the name. This one of the window open method is second parameter is this one. We can use that parameter to specify, basically the name of the window or the values for the target attribute. So now if you specify the target attribute, that as hyphen blank, this is the hyphen blank. If you see the table here, in the name parameter, we see the hyphen blank open in a new window default if nothing is specified. Okay, that is the default. Anyway, if you don't specify anything, the waveform 2 will be opened in a new window. Or if you specify hyphen self, means if you specify hyphen self, then within the same window, waveform 2 will be opened. Okay, if you specified blank, then it will the window waveform 2 will be open in another window. Okay, while in case of self, it will be open in a same window. Okay, so I'm going to set that to underscore blank as I have. Okay, so that is the second parameter. And third parameter, features. Where is the features? Third parameter, features. What is the specialty of this parameter? Okay, you can customize various aspects of the new window. So if I go to this, now you can see here, maybe for example, if you want a scroll bar in the new window, you can set scroll bar is equal to yes. Okay, scroll bar is equal to yes or 1. Okay, or otherwise you can use no or 0. No or 0. Similarly, if you want a toolbar, you can use no or 0. If you want a status bar, if you want nav bar, or whether you want to show the address bar or not. So for now, let's say I don't want to show the address bar, so I'm going to set location is equal to no. Okay, location is equal to no, And then I am also going to say, resizable is equal to no. I don't want the user to be resizing the window, so I am going to say resizable is equal to no. And then the final parameter is replace. Where is the replace? Here is the replace. Okay. We will talk about that parameter in just a bit. So I'm just going to pass true for that. So if you look at the that replace parameter, it is a Boolean parameter which accepts true or false for now. I'm going to pass in true. We will talk about that just in a bit, because that is applicable only if you are opening in the same window. If you are opening web form in the same window, that is when that parameter is applicable. So we will talk about that at that point of time. Okay, so that that is that's it. We are done. So now when you run this, but before running the application, we take a look that we have written a JavaScript function, but we also called that JavaScript function. Means if you go back to your this is the JavaScript function, copy this method from here and paste it here. Okay, so we we have written a JavaScript function, but we also call that JavaScript function when we click this button. So when we click this button, we should also call this JavaScript on this button. Means we have called the open new window method on the on click event of the button named as HTML button. So I have copied pasted here the JavaScript open new window method. When you specify the function, you also have to specify the opening and closing braces here. So I have opening and closing braces here. Let's run this. Now obviously when we click this button, now it is going to invoke that function and the function will open the new window. Okay, what will happen? Now save it and run the application. Let's check it what does happen. First of all, you need to close everything. Okay, so if we click this button, now it is going to invoke that function. If we click this function, now it is going to invoke that function, and that function means open new window. Function will open the new window. Okay, so let's enter some name here, whatever name you can. I specify this, and then and email we have specified the email, and then click this button. So it is going to open new window. Look at that, a new window is opened. Okay, okay, click this. Oh my god, what is happening to it? New window is opened. Okay, so look at that, a new window is opened, and look at what we have specified in the feature. In the feature we have specified we don't want the location is equal to, but here it is showing something else. We have specified we don't want the location is equal to no. Okay, there is no location. So the user will not here you should not see this. In this address you will see no waveform 2 is here showing. It is showing here. So the user will not be able to change this. And would not be able to resize this window. You can't resize this window. Okay. So see that there is no double side arrow. Okay, you can't resize it here. And look at the URL waveform2 .axpx, name of the user, the query string here that we have passed it, the name, whatever we entered into the text boxes. We have Suresh is there, Kumar, and the email is that sk24 that we have entered there. Now we can actually retrieve those values and display them on the web form. So let's see on web form 2 how to read those query string values. To read the query string values, we can use the request object. So close all these things. Okay. Go to the web form 2. View code. So on web form 2, how to read those query string values. To read the query string values, we can use the request object. Okay. Request object dot. It has got query string and I can pass it query string and I can pass it name of user. Okay. Means if what happened to it? Okay, understand. And if you remember, the name of the query string is name of user. We have entered this. So there I am going to pass that name of user is the first query string, and then I am going to set that as the text for label name. Okay. Means the name of user, if you see this here, this is the name of user, query string. Okay. Go back to your web form 2. And then I am going to set that as the text for label name. So here what we need to do, lbl name dot text is equal to. Okay. So set that as the text for label name. So label name dot text is equal to that request object query string, and the first query string is name of user. And along the same line, we are going to retrieve the email. So the name of the query string there is email, and we are going to display that email label. Means if I copy paste it from here, no need to copy from here, just copy and paste it here. And change it to email. Email. Okay, that's it. So let's run this now. So now we are going passing string parameter to webform2. On webform2 we are harvesting those values and displaying them in the label control. So let's say so means if you go to here and save the changes and run the application. So we will pass name again. What name? And the email we have already filled it. I click this button. But there is no name is being shown. Why this name is not shown? I'll tell you why. Go back to your here means design form of webform2. Go to the property and change this property. We have earlier changed it to fast. Now click to true. Okay, and to this email also change the visible to true. Okay, now go back to your webform1 again. Run this application. What happened to it? Not responding. Okay, something went wrong. Wait for the program. It does happen most occasionally. Okay, close this. So S and click this. As you can see, the name appeared. So look at that, new window is open. As you can see the name. Okay, so just to expand on this, now let's add this, the name parameter to underscore self. Close this one. Close this one. Okay. If it is giving me some problem in error, so I can you can change to any other browser also. Okay. So I am happy with this Internet Explorer. Okay, I will not change it. You can change it to what you can say Google Chrome. Okay, but Google Chrome has also some problem. So it is better to remain on Internet Explorer. Okay. Now when we set this self underscore self, Instead of opening web form 2 in a new window, it is going to open that in the same window. Okay, and in the meantime, so the web form loads, and in the meantime, if you look at the last parameter, means if I change it to self, okay, and if you look at the last parameter in the table, the replace parameter, it is a boolean parameter that specifies whether the URL creates a new entry or replace the current entry in the window history. So we have this window, means if we run now, okay, what then? Now save the changes and run it, and click this. So it is open in the same tab. Okay, the new window open in the same tab. So we have this window. Now it does not have any history. This web form at the moment. Now let's type in. We have typed already. It is again open up. So you may type something else also. Look at that. It is opened in the same window. And look at this. Okay, there is some problem in the new version of Internet Explorer that the back button does not get disabled. This is the problem in the new upgrade Internet Explorer version. In the older version of Internet Explorer, if you see and run this coding, then this back button gets disabled. Okay, but there is the issue, which is the upgrade browser do not follow the resizable and disable back button. Okay, it is their norms. I don't know why. What is their norms about that? Okay, so web form 1 entry in the browser history. In this window, history is replaced by web form 2. We can't say that it right now. If we set it to false, you can set it to false, and if you and run this now again, if you well, we have already told you that in the upgrade version, you see that there is no history. Okay, you click this. So in the new version of the Internet Explorer or Google browser, you see that the effect of resizable and back button disability is not there, is not applied on that. This is the question arises. So, but you can see that the web form is not open in new window. It is open in the same tab. Okay, this is the but in false case this back button is enable. Okay, I can go back. I can come back. This is the work of this. false. False parameter means boolean parameter of that replace parameter. Okay, so that is about the replace parameter, the last parameter of the window dot open function. Now let's set this back to blank, means set back to this blank, blank. Okay, all right, so we have seen how to use the HTML button control to open a new window. We can do that using we can do that using an ASP.NET server side button control. Absolutely, we can do this using an ASP.NET server side button control also. So let's copy this tr and paste that so that we get another row, and instead of that, means what you do now, copy and paste this piece of code, paste it here, and remove this whole code because we need ASP.NET button control. This one is the ASP.NET button control. Okay, you can see the clear difference. In HTML button control you see the input, while in ASP button control you see ASP dot colon button. Okay, so I'm going to use standard ASP.NET button control. So go to the standard, we have done this. So again, this is going to use the window dot open technique, means we write here text is equal to, so copy it from the tab, where is it? Okay, on click, not on click, we need to type this first. Okay, go back here and type it here. Okay, so now we have this ASP.NET button, and we need, and let's set the width is equal to 300 pixel. Width we also need to copy this, go back to the coding, okay. So if you go to the design mode, you can see the, okay, there is the error. Okay, what error is? I'll tell you the error. Okay, you need to remove this text here. Now if you go to the design, okay, one mistake you are doing here is that this should be in the different tr. Okay, close this tr and write it different tr. Okay, if we go to now design, this is here is the ASP.NET button, window.open, ASP.NET server button, control. Now, so when I click this button, ASP.NET button, window.open, I just want to do the same thing. Now the ASP.NET server side button control has got on click property. So on client click property. Okay, on client click this one. Okay, copy this and paste it here, and the source code. I can specify the same function here. So on client click, open this function. This function is coming from where? We have copied this function from here. Open new window. Okay, and we have typed this open new window function in the on client click. That's it. So now when we run this, whether you click the HTML button or the standard ASP.NET server side control, you will be able to open webform 2 in a new window. Okay, save this all. Now control F5. Let's check it, what does happen. Close this. Now type it. Now click this. So new window is open now. Okay, so with this button you will be able to open webform 2 in a new window. Now we have seen how to do that in the HTML source. Can I open a new window using a server side? Absolutely. And the way you do that is, okay, let's do that. We close all these things. And go to the view code of this web form. Okay. So what do you need to do now? First of all, you need to erase the on click event from this. Remove this on click client click event. So when you remove or delete the portion, okay, we have deleted this from here. So when I click this button, double click button, here is the design. Go to the design and double click this ASP.NET button control. Okay. So it will generate the event handler. We can write code here. So basically look at this. What do we want to do? We want to open a new window. So all we have to do for that is invoke the JavaScript function window dot open. Okay, and to do that from server side, what you have to do is first let's build that string which will have the JavaScript. So I am going to call this string is string str java script script, and here I am going to specify the script. Now all we want to do is we want to build a function like this, means like this, like this. Okay, but we don't copy from here, we'll write it, we will copy from the notepad. Okay, this one. So copy whole coding from here and paste it here. Okay, so here I am going to specify script. Now all we want to do is we want to build a function like this. This is the function script tag. So I'm going to say and the code behind, so script, and then here we need to specify window.open method. We have specified the window dot. In notepad I have also misspelled that, so go and correct it. Okay, okay, and then here we need to specify window.open. So what do we want to open here? We want to open webform2.axpx. You can also pass in the query string. This is the query string. So one, the name of the query string is name of user. One of the name of query string is name of the user. So we are going to pass that here. So name of user, and this is the server side code. Where is the name of the user coming? Where is the user? Where is the name of the user coming from? It is coming from txt name dot text box. So name of the user, and then that is going to come from, so to that we want to append txt name. Appending, we are appending this txt name dot text. Okay, and then we also want to pass another query string using a ampersand symbol, which is going to be email. And where is email coming from? Email is coming from txt email text box. So basically here we are dynamically building the query string that we want to have executed. I mean the JavaScript basically that we want to execute. So we have webform2.axps name of user, and then the name, email, and then the email from the text box. And then what we want to do basically is close this single quote, close this single quote. We have closed this single quote here. Okay, and close the closing braces. This is the closing braces. This is the closing braces. This one. of this window dot open methods, and then finally close the script tag. This is the closing of script tab. So we have to build that dynamically. So I'm going to first close this single quote, close the closing braces of the function, and then so that is the closing brace. So once this is done, we need to close. Maybe you can put a semicolon here if you want, and then close the script tag. That's it. You cannot either you should put this semicolon or you don't put, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's it. So that is the JavaScript that we want to execute. So now I can use response.write method, and then all you do is use this JavaScript. So what happens when the browser encounters this JavaScript? It is going to execute that. Okay, so let's run this now and see what happens. So now if you look at this in the HTML, for that server side, ASP.NET button control, you don't have the on click. Here you have already removed the on client click property. Okay, so it is going to post back to the server, and within the post back event, so it is going to post back to the server, and within the post back event means in this post back event, it is going to build this script JavaScript. Okay, dynamically, and then execute that when it encounters this response.write method. So let's run this. So when the web form loads, we can type in something into the text boxes. Means if we run this, save it first and run it now. Now type test and click the ASP.NET button. Look at that, it is opening in a look at that, it is not opening in the new window, but it is open in the same window. Why? Because we didn't have set this to is to be true. Okay, close this and save it, and now click it, test. It is opening in the same window. Okay, why it is happening? Because okay, something went wrong to my, it is not responding right now. So that's it for us, as we have it should be opened in the new window. So why it is not getting open in these a new window? We'll see that what happened to it. If you again run it, Pavy. Okay, right. That's it for us today. Have a nice day. So we have just seen how to do that using server-side code. That's it for today. This is the new window opened up. Okay, guys, thank you for watching.